What's good, crypto fam? Happy stacking Saturday. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis and quoting Jack Dorsey, buy Bitcoin from an exchange and move it to a hardware key that you control. Max Kaiser agrees. He shared the following. This is how you kill Wall Street derivative traders trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin. Gold does not have this luxury in any practical sense. Facts. Also in today's show, Lightning Labs unveils a toolkit to enable AI, artificial intelligence, to transact in Bitcoin. We'll also be discussing U.S. presidential candidate Kennedy Jr. disclosing $250,000 in Bitcoin holdings, ultimately meaning he's a hodler. We'll also be discussing a crypto analyst who puts the Bitcoin price action at $125,000 by 2024. I'll be breaking down how this is possible, as well as one hot tech sector can send the Bitcoin price rocketing up to 2,400%, hitting $760,000 per coin, according to the BitMEX co-founder, Arthur Hayes. We'll also be discussing the latest from billionaire Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, and his prediction of the Bitcoin price 100xing from here, hitting a target of $4 million per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. And if you're just joining us, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications as I go live each and every day at a different time. So make sure to do so, and it also helps support the channel naturally, what I greatly appreciate and helps out a lot. So with that being shared, fam, welcome to y'all just joining us here in today's live show. Lots to cover. It is Stacking Saturday, so let's kick it off with today's market watch. As you can see here on your screen, we got Bitcoin currently correcting and in the red, trading just above 30,200. The good news is we held strong that 30,000 support. As you can see, Ether currently correcting down 0.5% as well, trading at $1,862, while some of the alts are breaking out, which include BNB, XRP, Litecoin, and Avalanche, as well as Solana, Polkadot. Now, checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the current crypto market cap sitting at $1.18 trillion with roughly 20 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, meaning the volume is down almost 40%, with the Bitcoin dominance steady at 49.9% and the Ether dominance at 19%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Bone Shiba Swap up 13%, trading at $1.41, followed by Avalanche up almost 9%, trading at $13.80, followed by ApeCoin up almost 7%, trading just under $2. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, as you can see, we got Avalanche up 9%. We have some of the biggest losers include XEC down 9%, as well as Zcash down 6.2%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, shows we're currently rated a 58. Yesterday was a 55, last week a 59, and last month a 50, which is neutral. So there you have it. How many of you took advantage of this current dip? Please do let me know in the live chat, and also let me know who's here live with me. And FYI, you must be logged into your YouTube account in order to interact here in the live chat, as well as to smash that like and subscribe, so be sure to do so. But yeah, let's check out what's happening here in the market. We had Bitcoin that went through a volatile end of the week in which it posted a new 13-month high before it slipped under 30,000, but managed to defend this support. The alts are calmer on the daily, aside from Solana, Avalanche, Leo, and ARB, and a few others which have added some value. Now, the past weekend was quite uneventful, even though Bitcoin went through a roller coaster that drove it from 31,000 to 29,500 and back up to 30,500 in a matter of hours on Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday, though, much more calmer, with Bitcoin remaining at just over 30,000, which is where we're currently at. It wasn't until early Tuesday morning when the landscape changed. The Bitcoin price pushed above 30,000 once again and then was rejected once again. But the bulls went on the offensive once again on Thursday, and this time they managed to drive the Bitcoin price just north of 31,500 on Bitstamp for the first time in 13 months, which means this is the new 2023 yearly high. However, the asset failed there again, plummeting to a low of 29.7 by Friday morning. Nevertheless, it bounced right back and reclaimed the coveted 30,000 mark in the following hours and has remained just above that line since then. So let's go. How many of you are currently bullish on Bitcoin and feel we're likely to move on up, let me know. And also, if you feel we're likely to crack lower, also let me know in the chat. Now, quoting Jack Dorsey, very powerful quote here: buy Bitcoin from an exchange and move it to a hardware key that you control. Now, I want to stress the importance of this, because if not your keys, you don't own the crypto. So what he is ultimately saying, don't be one of these sitting ducks that purchases your crypto from the exchange and keeps it on the exchange, because if, God forbid, something happened to that exchange, it's not your crypto no longer. For example, a hacker, for example, unlawful enforcement from the SEC, like we're witnessing with Binance US and Coinbase right now. So you can't be too safe. So protect yourself out there. Now, Max Kaiser, he agrees 100% and piggybacked off that with the following: this is how you kill the Wall Street derivative traders trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin. Gold does not have this luxury in any practical sense. I agree 100%. I think the smartest thing that we can do is keep stacking them sats. And again, take your crypto off the exchanges. You have been warned. Now for our next breaking story of the day. This is very interesting because AI, artificial intelligence, now has the power to send and receive Bitcoin to each other, to other artificial intelligence via the Lightning Network. So let's break this down, shall we? And how many of you are currently pretty intrigued with AI or currently using it? Let me know. And at the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now, the hype surrounding artificial intelligence is taking multiple industries by storm, and the digital assets industry appears to be readily embracing this tech. We have Lightning Labs becoming the latest platform to tap the space. The team behind the Bitcoin Lightning Network announced the release of a new set of developer tools to enable the Lightning and AI developer communities to interact with Bitcoin seamlessly. That's right. According to the official blog post, the newly released Toolkit assists AI apps such as OpenAI and ChatGPT to interact with the Bitcoin network to send, receive, and hold the crypto asset. Could you imagine an AI becoming one of the largest hodlers of Bitcoin and taking over the world? Very interesting, right? Now, Lightning Labs explained that the new tools are built on a Lightning native authentication mechanism called the L402 protocol. It also uses a popular library called LangChain. The firm also highlights the problem of rising deployment costs that serves as a barrier due to the current billing paradigm, a crucial aspect that Lightning and the L402 protocol seeks to address. As such, leveraging the L402 protocol, any entity with an internet-connected device will be able to receive or acquire Bitcoin instantly. Owing to the Lightning Network, high-volume payments can also be carried out while retaining privacy. Pretty cool. Quoting them here, "We are extremely excited about the new wave of innovation brought about with the latest wave of LLM models. With the L402 protocol and LangChain Bitcoin, we're able to ensure the open models can be accessed using an open payment system connected to the world's set of open APIs. And in the end, open source will win. And we're working to provide the tooling to enable greater accessibility to AI for humans and agents alike." It's interesting when they say agents, are they referring to agents of the Matrix, right? Now, despite a slow start, the Lightning Network has been increasingly embraced by crypto entities. The scaling solution witnessed tremendous growth as measured by the amount of Bitcoin locked within it. The latest data shows there are now more than 5,400 Bitcoin currently on the Lightning Network. And by a show of hands, let me know how many of you are currently using the Lightning Network. Put a 1 in the live chat or in the main comment box right down below this video. Now, Binance recently announced it would start running multiple Lightning nodes to leverage the Layer 2 scaling solution in a bid to enable cheaper Bitcoin deposits and withdrawals on its platform. So there you have it. Obviously, AI is the fastest growing sector in the world, even faster than the growth of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So it just goes to show you Bitcoin and AI merging is a pretty big deal. In fact, towards the end of the show, I'm going to be sharing a prediction with you from the BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes. He believes that Bitcoin will become the native currency of AI and driving the Bitcoin price action to $760,000 per coin. But first, now let's dive into the fact that presidential candidate Kennedy Jr. hodls $250,000 in Bitcoin. Pretty cool. So let's break this down. And again, if you're just joining us, let us know who you are in the live chat and where you're from. Now, Bitcoin takes center stage as Kennedy Jr., a presidential candidate in the upcoming election, finds himself at odds with his previous investment claims. Known for his vocal support of the digital currency and even accepting it as campaign donations, Kennedy's own statements now appear contradictory in the light of this revelation. Let's break it down. A recently published report brought to light that Kennedy possesses Bitcoin holdings ranging from 100,000 to 250,000 as indicated by the Discloses financial record. Now keep in mind, at the Bitcoin price currently hovering at just above 30,000, that means he has roughly at least 3 Bitcoin, which he claimed he is hodling, and maybe as much as, if you run the math, I'm guessing, so correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe 8 or so Bitcoin would be roughly 250,000. Now, unfortunately, the filing lacks details regarding the timing of his Bitcoin purchases, leaving the public curious about the extent of his involvement in the crypto market. Great question. Like, did he just buy this Bitcoin, or maybe he was an early adopter and never told anybody? But more than likely, if I was to guess, I'd say it's more recently, because if he was an early adopter, I think he'd own a lot more than 100 or 250,000 in Bitcoin, but that's my 2 Satoshis. Let me know your thoughts. Now, hours following the publication of the report uncovering Kennedy Jr.'s substantial Bitcoin holdings, his campaign manager, former Democrat Rep. Dennis Kucinich, stepped forward to provide clarification. He stated the Bitcoin purchase in question belonged to Kennedy's wife, absolving the candidate of direct ownership. Things get even more interesting, right? However, the campaign's stance swiftly changed, acknowledging that Kennedy indeed made the investment. The campaign clarified that the investment occurred after Kennedy's speech in Miami, but prior to the filing deadline of June 30th, which makes sense, meaning he just spoke at the Bitcoin Miami conference, the largest Bitcoin conference in the world. He was, I think, the keynote speaker, and it would make sense that he would then buy Bitcoin after making that speech. Now, during the Bitcoin conference in May, Kennedy explicitly stated, "I am not an investor, and I am not here to give investment advice." This declaration seemed to contradict the subsequent revelation of his holdings, but throughout his campaign for office, Kennedy had consistently voiced his support for the King crypto, expressing admiration for the digital currency on various occasions during the events all across social media. That was breaking news everywhere, right? Now, in May, Kennedy publicized and criticized, or publicly criticized, proposed 30% crypto mining tax put forward by President Sleepy Joe Biden's administration, voicing his opposition to the tax measure, aligning himself with the concerns of the crypto community. And additionally, he condemned central bank digital currencies, better known as CBDCs, expressing skepticism about their potential impact on the financial system. Now, I agree with him there. I am anti-CBDC and obviously pro-Bitcoin, and I think this is going to be a big factor for the 2024 presidential election in the United States. Now, as the U.S. gears up for the pivotal presidential election next year, the digital asset industry emerged as a prominent topic in the political landscape. The increasing relevance and impact of cryptos and blockchain tech have led politicians to incorporate discussions about the industry into their campaigns and policy agendas. And with the rapid growth of adoption of digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, their position in the financial sector has become a significant point of discourse amongst potential candidates. The potential benefits and risks associated with cryptos, as well as decentralized finance and blockchain tech, have garnered attention from policymakers, regulators, as well as the public alike. Also like to point out the fact, so yeah, we have Kennedy Jr. running for president in 2024 of the United States, running as a Democrat, and obviously, as we just pointed out, very pro-Bitcoin. He was the keynote speaker at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, and also anti-CBDCs. And we also have Ron DeSantis, who is running as a Republican, who is the current governor of Florida, the Sunshine State, and he is also pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDCs. So if I was to vote, we do not get to vote here in Puerto Rico for the president of the United States. But if I was allowed to vote, I would only vote for a candidate who is pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. I don't care Democrat or Republican. My main love language, pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and who would you likely vote for next year if you lived in the United States and you had the ability to vote. Please do let us know. And like I said at the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now for a $125,000 Bitcoin price prediction by 2024, which is right around the corner, right? Check this out. Matrixport, a crypto financial services platform, has always been bullish on Bitcoin, especially this year. Its latest prediction for the digital asset comes as no surprise to investors this time around. The analyst predicts the Bitcoin price will push forward to as high as $125,000 per coin by the end of 2024. So let's discuss this 310% increase, shall we? The current forecast by Matrixport, analysts for Bitcoin, will see the crypto rally as high as 310% if it does come to pass. This prediction, however, was just thrown around without expected catalyst that would trigger such a rally, but we outlined this here in the report, so let's break it. For Bitcoin to reach as high as 125,000 by the end of 2024, Matrixport expects the potential approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF filed by investing giants such as BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, controlling over $10 trillion in assets under management, as well as Fidelity Investments. They control roughly $4.5 trillion assets under management, amongst others, which could be the push that we really need. 2024 is important for these Bitcoin spot ETF filings because the final date for a decision from the US SEC is in 2024. Talk about the perfect storm, right? This is because the SEC gets 3 opportunities to postpone its decision, which it will likely do. So a decision on whether or not investors will be able to trade a spot Bitcoin ETF is expected in February 2024 at the latest, as outlined here in this report. Keep it in mind, the Bitcoin halving is expected to take place sometime between April and May. So the SEC is going to have to make their decision before the Bitcoin halving. Quoting the report here, with the potential approval of the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF and other institutional providers, the demand for Bitcoin could continue to support prices and our $45,000 year-end target. They shared, there is no obvious indication of what will drive the next bull market, but the data indicates the Bitcoin could continue to rally into the 2024 halving, and it does seem to be this way, especially if history is to rhyme. Now, as Matrixport mentions in the report, the Bitcoin spot ETF filings are not the only bullish event that can drive a bull market next year. Another important event is Bitcoin halving, which we all know, less than a year away, roughly 9.5 months. This event will see the block rewards for the blockchain cut down in half from the current 6.25 BTC per mine block to 3.125 Bitcoin per mine block. Now, this decrease in the rate at which the new Bitcoin is being brought into circulation, coupled with the fact that the digital asset possesses a very limited supply, has always triggered each bull market, which is cyclical every 4 years, like clockwork, right? So even if expectations for the spot ETFs do not play out and the SEC does reject all of the filings, it will likely only be a short-lived bearish momentum, as the halving will take place only a few months after. So ultimately what they're trying to say, Bitcoin doesn't need a spot Bitcoin ETF. A spot Bitcoin ETF needs Bitcoin. So going by historical performance, the Bitcoin price has been known to rise more than 100% as expectations around the halving event grow. And given this, it is possible that Bitcoin does reach a price of $125,000 by the end of next year. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts. I think that is a very probable target, and in fact, once Bitcoin does finally hit that 6-figure mark, we're going to have a celebration party right down here in Puerto Rico, and y'all invited. I'd love to meet you. If you'd love to attend this party, absolutely let me know in the live chat and in the comments section right down below this video. Now let's discuss Arthur Hayes' 760,000 Bitcoin price prediction with AI using Bitcoin as, you know what I mean, the currency for AI adoption. And then we'll dive into Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, predicting the Bitcoin price will 100x, surpassing $4 million per coin. Then we'll dive into our live Q&A. And again, massive shout out to everyone out there in the live chat. Appreciate y'all's support. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes predicts that one red hot sector could send Bitcoin soaring by more than 2,400% from the current price. He said in a new blog post that artificial intelligence will likely drive Bitcoin's meteoric ascent in the next 10 years. According to Hayes, AI will naturally gravitate to blockchain tech for its inherent qualities, including transparency and strict rules, which a single entity cannot alter. Quoting him here, for an AI that is not human and does not intrinsically understand human laws, the risk of being deplatformed is high and undesirable. AIs will need a digital payment system with clear and transparent rules that are applied regardless of who is transacting or what is being paid for on the network. meaning it doesn't discriminate. There can be no singular entity with the power to arbitrarily change the rules of the game whenever it pleases. An AI doesn't have an army yet to force a payment system to bend to its will. The system must be censorship resistant, which Bitcoin is, right? From the outset, a suitable payment system can only be powered by a public or private blockchain. A blockchain's rules are enshrined in code that is clear and transparent. That is why this and only this type of digital payment system can be used by AIs. And according to Hayes, AI needs a digital payment system that will likely be satisfied by Bitcoin. As he shares here, Bitcoin is thus the logical currency choice for any AI. It is purely digital, censorship resistance, probably scarce, and its intrinsic value is completely electricity cost dependent. There is nothing in existence today that comes close to challenging Bitcoin on these aspects. Facts. Hayes also says that AI will likely fuel economic growth in the coming years and lays down a model that suggests AI could account for between 5 to 50% of the global GDP within the next decade. Now, should the AI economy rely on Bitcoin as its core payment system, Hayes predicts that Bitcoin can soar as high as $760,000 per coin, a potential increase of 2,400% from the Bitcoin current price of $30,000. Quoting him again, remember, the market will overpay for Bitcoin network growth if it believes there is a possibility that my assumptions could be true in the future. The most money is made when the market price adjusts from can never happen to maybe it could. So there you have it. Do you feel the Bitcoin price just maybe could hit 760,000, driven off of the massive growth of the AI sector and becoming the primary currency of choice for artificial intelligence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, Peter Thiel's 100x prediction on the Bitcoin price. He made this prediction actually a year ago, back in 2022, but it's still relevant. He was actually one of the key speakers at last year's Bitcoin Miami conference, which I attended. How many of you were there and got to see that? Let me know in the comments. But anyways, let's break down why and how he believes this is likely to occur. And massive shout out to Peter Thiel, by the way. Good dude. Anyways, in his speech, Peter Thiel rallied against corporate ESG concerns, so much respect to him on that as well, terming them the real enemy, which we all know is nothing more than FUD, right? Quoting him here, ESG is just a hate factory. It's a factory for naming enemies, and we should not be allowing them to do that. When you think ESG, you should be thinking of the Chinese Communist Party. Very bold words there. And for context, Bitcoin has continued to receive flack from various quarters, including Tesla's Elon Musk for its detrimental carbon footprint. As per a recent report by Crypto Carbon Ratings Institute, a typical U.S. household consumes 10,600 kilowatts of electricity per year. Bitcoin, with its vast network of decentralized nodes, consumes on average 89.78 billion kilowatts of energy per year, often exceeding the yearly energy output of entire nations. Nonetheless, as we noted recently in a post, this simplistic narrative ignores crucial subtleties. An illustration back in September 2020, the University of Cambridge estimated around 39% of Bitcoin's total energy consumption was carbon neutral, hammering the point home that the network's energy consumption is not equal to its carbon footprint. And moreover, proponents also argue that the global banking and financial industry uses energy that is orders of magnitude higher. Facts, because as I just said, ESG was nothing more than FUD, which was ultimately perpetuated by world elites, including Bill Gates, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, as well as the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, who is Jamie Dimon. And we know all those cats are FUD puppets. But anyways, Peter Thiel believes Bitcoin is poised for 100x price gains. Let's break it down. And what was inarguably the centerpiece of his address, Thiel noted that Bitcoin was deliberately being undervalued as it is the most honest market in the world, thereby serving as the proverbial canary in the coal mine. Love that. Quoting him here, Bitcoin is the canary in the coal mine. It was telling us that inflation is coming. It is telling us that central banks are bankrupt. And it's telling us that we are at the end of the fiat money regime. Facts. Thiel then observed that Bitcoin's true competitor was not Ethereum, but global equities. That's right. He correctly noted that one of the primary factors behind the bull market of the past 40 years was the historically low inflation in the post-Volcker era. However, now that inflation has returned, Bitcoin should outperform equities. I agree 100%. We have repeatedly highlighted Bitcoin soaring correlation with U.S. equities. In fact, currently around 48% of the moves in Bitcoin are accounted for by the corresponding moves in the benchmark S&P 500 index. Back in 2022, in January, this correlation stood at over 60%. Nonetheless, if Peter Thiel's predictions pan out, Bitcoin will likely exit this troubling correlation regime in the near future, setting the stage for outsized gains. Send it. In fact, Thiel believes that there should be parity between the market cap of global equities and that of Bitcoin. For reference, global equities currently have a market cap of around $115 trillion, while this metric for Bitcoin is hovering at $807 billion right now. This was last year. I think today we're probably closer to $600 billion, just FYI, giving us even more room for growth. But anyways, here's what he had to say. I am still hopeful that Bitcoin goes up by a factor of 100x. Should this prediction pan out, from the time he made it, it would equate to an astounding situation where one Bitcoin would be worth over $400 million, because when he made that prediction, Bitcoin price was roughly 40,000, not 30,000 of where we're at today. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this prediction from Peter Thiel that the Bitcoin price is likely to soar 100x, hitting $4 million per coin. And when do you feel this is likely to occur by? Holla at your boy in the live chat. And now let's dive into our live Q&A. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat, including Greedy, what's poppin', Steve Kingston, Dad, Tarando, good to see you as well. Digital Dankness, always a pleasure. Selling with Twins, what's poppin', No Commentary TV, good to see ya. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the movement. What's up, Hawk? What's poppin', Carl Barre. We got some new names in here as well. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the show. Stefan H. What's poppin', CMG. What's good, Baz Dragon, Po Dunk, The Pay Window. Good to see y'all in the chat. ESP Academy, Guy Smokey, was good. Says, not your keys, not your cheese. You already know, fam. That's the motto here. Not your keys, not your cheese. I repeat that like virtually every episode, giving everyone a reminder. Michael Volkman, what's good? Michael V, what is good? Good to see the fam in the building. Greedy says they're illegal in California, but the police don't trip in my neighborhood. Are you talking about fireworks? How was everyone's 4th of July? Hopefully y'all are safe. Volkman says one of the local copper mines always has a great fireworks show for the 4th, and one of the tailing piles, we did not make it this year because of the temperature. Word up. Shoot, bro. And Lee again, been strong again. Word up. You got to do what you got to do, fam. Hello, guys. Who's going to guess which way Bitcoin moves right now? Asked Baz Dragon. I sold a few positions of my eToro account this morning as they are too small to move to a cold wallet. Position needs to be $250 to move. Well, let's discuss this excellent question by Boz really quick. So is Bitcoin more likely to go up or down from here? Who knows? No one could accurately predict that because everything's with probabilities. But considering Bitcoin support held strong at 30,000 and considering we're back in the green right now and pumping at roughly 30,400, I am more optimistic that Bitcoin is likely to continue on up, especially considering we just hit a 13-month high, surpassing 31,500 just the other day in that ballpark. So I feel it's going to test that again. And once we can break clearly 32 and 32.5, I think we're most likely to head on up towards 40,000 as we get later into the year. You know what I mean? Now, can we also correct and go the opposite way? Yeah, 100%. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? If that was to happen, am I going to cry? No, I'm going to celebrate and be like, yo, I can stack more sats on the low. So regardless of Bitcoin dips, seize the moment. You know what to do. BTFD, follow in the footsteps of Michael Saylor. I mean, after all, he is a rocket scientist, right? MicroStrategy holds over 152,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So yeah, just follow that guy if you're a believer in Bitcoin. But no, also at the same time, if Bitcoin goes up, you should be happy because your bag is going to be worth more money. But if you're not stacking sats, you're missing the boat altogether. So yeah, but what do you guys think? Do you think Bitcoin is likely to move on up from here? Or do you think we're most likely to correct? Let us know in the comments right down below. And of course, I greatly appreciate that. And let's continue. I'll be reading these out loud. Yeah, Bass Dragon, I predict up, down, or sideways. I think Steve Kingston is accurate there. It will absolutely go up, down, and sideways, and all in between. Had a high of 102 degrees. Good Lord, that's hot. Stay cool there, Michael. You got to do what you got to do. That's the Plan B's up to 1.5 million prediction. Kind of vague. Well, I've heard Stock to Flow predicting sometime after 2024. We know the halving is in 9.5 months. Stock to Flow and Plan B, creator of the Stock to Flow model, is predicting a wide range of Bitcoin being somewhere between $100,000 and $1 million. Is he now saying $1.5 million? Because I haven't seen that specific prediction, but just a wide range between 100,000 and $1 million gives us a medium average of 500,000. So it'll be interesting to see, of course, how it plays out. Steve says, just happy to be alive and here today. I was riding the bike to work and a full-grown moose crossed the road. Moose seemed to be even bigger from a motorcycle point of view. Well, hopefully it didn't hit the moose. When I was younger, I was in my community, conservative community with deer and such like that. I was driving my Mini Cooper and a deer didn't give me any time to stop, just ran out right in front of my car as if it was like a magnet. It just hit the deer, totaled my car, believe it or not. And the most unfortunate part, the deer got so injured, it passed away. And even to this day, it's one of the most terrific experiences I've ever had in my life because I love animals. To see a deer die in front of my eyes that I was responsible for hitting broke my heart. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to be careful out there. Animals, can get in the road, and some of these animals are hundreds of pounds. So could be a collision of death, you know what I mean? So be extra cautious out there, fam. Doing fine, got my chores done before the heat started up. Good to hear, Volkman. Much love and much respect. Glad we back to normal time. I fell asleep with the iPad on the bunk last night, second time now. Hence the importance to make sure that notifications are all turned on because each and every day I go live at a different time. So you got to keep that in mind. Today we're going live at 1 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday. Tomorrow it'll be different. And in the week, sometimes it's 4 p.m. Eastern. So please do make sure you have all notifications turned on. And of course, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button and help support the show. And to help with the YouTube algorithm, if you want to help the show become more successful and spread the word of the holy gospel of Satoshi, please drop me some sort of comment. Even if it's a one-word comment, it's irrelevant, but some sort of comment in the main comment section below the video. Not just in the live chat, but in the main comment section below the video. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and I greatly, greatly appreciate that. So thank you, fam. Puff, puff, pass, twins. I'm smoking one for you as well. Word up. And yeah, this is pod episode number 1335, fam. We keep moving on. Keep going. So yeah, thanks, Greedy Sav. I wonder what the actual coverage would be like in remote places. Word up. Let's see. Let's try to find some crypto-related comments. Gold sucks. Bitcoin rocks, says Steve Kingston. Facts. You can do things with Bitcoin you cannot do with gold, and you can't really do much with gold that you can't do with Bitcoin, minus jewelry. You know what I mean? So, Bitcoin is incorruptible. There's a finite limited supply. Just that comparison alone, the fact that new gold supply is introduced to the market each and every year, it's nowhere near as scarce as you would imagine. You know what I mean? Even some of the allegedly most scarce assets on the planet, including diamonds, it's a controlled industry. The more money they invest into mining gold, the more they discover. So what does that tell you about the scarcity? It means there's not a finite limited supply. Bitcoin is the only money or form of money ever created in human history with a finite limited supply, which is incorruptible and unconfiscatable. Gold is absolutely corruptible. Banks like JP Morgan have been fined billions of dollars for manipulating the prices. You know what I mean? And absolutely corruptible and absolutely introduces much to the supply each and every year. Hence why the gold price has been pretty steady for the past decade, even though hyperinflation is hitting us full force and will continue as money printer continue to go brr. So yeah, in my opinion, I agree 100%. Bitcoin rocks, gold sucks. If I had gold, I would convert it all into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? The only gold I possess is like a chain around my neck for sentimental reasons. Before my father passed, he gave me a gold chain with the charm he used to rock. And then my grandfather, the same thing. He left me his chain. So I rock it, out of respect because it's sentimental. But at the end of the day, I much rather have Bitcoin than gold. Which returns are more attractive to you? Bitcoin averages, since its inception 14 years ago, on average, 200% price gain increase each and every year without skipping a beat. Gold, stagnant for the past decade. You know what I mean? So the choice seems pretty obvious to me. I've smushed a deer, but nothing else. Thank baby Jesus. And even that was scary as what? I don't even want to hear details, but yeah, that sounds like it sucks. Absolutely. Sound and video is good to go. Appreciate that. Appreciate the sound check. Much love. Robert O'Connor, what's good? Loving the consolidation. No rush. Exactly. Just keep stacking them stats. Just another opportunity to do so. Johnny Midas was popping, fam. Desert greetings for JV. Greatly appreciate that. Digital Dankness says the Indians would be an epic spot to donate. They would use it. Word up, just like this like button smash. Thank you, Greedy. Appreciate that, fam. Question, 21 million minus lost Bitcoin times by, whoa, what is that? 100 million Satoshis divided by 8 billion global population. Would it be enough for the global monetary standard? Whoa, I can't run that math in my head. If someone could, please do help a brother out. But I think Bitcoin could absolutely become a world reserve currency because, again, one Bitcoin can be divisible by 100 million Satoshis. Therefore, there's more than enough to go around. Yeah, realistically, not everyone, not even every millionaire in the world will be able to own a whole coin. That's a fact. There's over 50 million millionaires in the world. There'll only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, several million lost, gone, or stagnant, never be moved again. So makes it even more finite and scarce. You know what I mean? But yeah, due to the fact it can be divided by 100 million Satoshis, for that reason, yes, it can become a world reserve currency. And you already know if that was to happen, moon time, baby. Don't forget the like button. Thanks for the reminder. We in the red, but that's a good red. Well, now we finally back in the green. Expect more volatility, likely to continue. But as we know, as Michael Saylor says, volatility equals life force. So the force is strong up in this mofo. Last I knew, you had to buy Shiba to trade for Bone. Interesting. And that's some of the burn implementation. Let me know if I'm wrong. News to me. Thanks for sharing. Let's freaking go. JV for president, says CMG. Much love and respect. ESP says, good morning, everyone. It's been a while. It has been a while. Good to see you again. What's been new? Yeah. Unless I get blindsided by something when the moon money gets here, I will still be converting trash to BTC. Amen. Long live the king. London in the building, yo. Massive shout out to the UK. I haven't been to London in quite some time. What's up, my crypto crew? Market's a little up. What's good, Carl? Good to see you, Carl Berry. Much love, much respect. Thanks for tuning in live and participating in the live chat. I say we accumulate for a week or two before the next pump, unless there is a white swan event. Predicts digital dankness. How many agree with DD? Let us know. Thanks, Familia. Still hodl Bitcoin, 100%. Good to hear. Not your keys, not your cheese. 100% guys. Smokey, preach. Paul P, UK in the building. Deuces fam. Honestly, I have a ledger, but it is too complicated. What's so complicated about it? The good news is you can just go on YouTube and watch a tutorial of how to use it. Pretty simple, but also, you know what I mean? You got to do your own due diligence and research and feel confident using a cold storage wallet. Because if you have no competence or have no clue what you're doing, you know, there's always a risk of you sending your crypto to an address that doesn't exist and it being unrecoverable. So, you know, learn the ins and outs of how to do things safe. For a safe measure, a recommendation, because it's probably happened to everyone in crypto eventually, you send crypto to the wrong address, or maybe hypothetically, you send Bitcoin to an Ethereum wallet or something like that, a big mistake, and then it's lost and gone forever. Well, the good news, versus sending the full amount when you're making a transaction, especially if you're new to crypto, send a test transaction. Even if you want to send, hypothetically, Ethereum to an exchange, right, to trade it for Bitcoin, don't send the full amount to the exchange unless you have extreme confidence, because one mistake, one single error, it's lost and gone. So my recommendation, test transaction. You can send $1. You can send 50 cents. You can send $5. You don't need to send $5,000. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind as well. I think that should be helpful, especially for newbies, again, until you develop the confidence. How do you develop confidence and competence? Doing it, right? Making transactions. Not until you're in the game where you feel comfortable playing the game. If that makes sense, let me know. Sold my goal for Bitcoin last year. Massive congratulations to ESP. Well done, fam. ESP Academy, you're a savage. Word up. CM, I sold everything for Bitcoin always. ESP, that's what's up. Sold my Rolex for Bitcoin. Now I can buy 10 Rolexes. Congratulations. We're in the same boat, Carl. I sold my Rolex. It was a gold Rolex Daytona before moving to Puerto Rico. And similar boat. I don't think I can buy 10 of the same Rolexes, but I can buy several of them now. But I prefer to just keep hodling that Bitcoin. I also sold my Porsche before moving here. I had a brand new Porsche at that time, and I'm glad I did that. That worked out well. Bitcoin's been on the rise, so it went according to plan. So, you know what I mean? Material things or Bitcoin, I much prefer the Bitcoin, especially at a time like this when we're so early in the game. Let me know if you can relate. Bought Bitcoin instead of 401k. My man. Shout out to the pay window. Podunk, awesome pod as always. Keep up the good work, my brother. Absolutely will do. Appreciate the support. Baz says we have to front run the robots. Don't sell your sats to them or BlackRock. Word up. Hodl strong, fam. Hold on for dear life. It's best to stack sats every day, says Bart DeBellis. Word up. Keep stacking them sats. Happy sat stacking Saturday once again. I'm currently using Strike, but I've never only sent Bitcoin to my Trezor. Word up. Oh, have only ever sent Bitcoin to my Trezor. Well, that's probably a good thing. That means you're not using it to spend it. You're saving it. You're hodling it. Much love, much respect. I use Sol and Matic and Doge for trades, but I did mine 100 million SHIB and will hold that for nostalgic stance, says Dankness. Word up. Hawk says, what up, Bitcoin Maxis? Welcome, Hawk. Appreciate you tuning in. Sophisticated Dirt. Fly fishing, what's poppin', fam? Good to see ya. Hit that like button. You know there's too many people but not enough likes. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Depending upon when you bought it, we'll most likely make money off of that when you know the prices have been up since I bought mine in 2011, says Greedy. I bought in 2018 on the dip. Definitely a great time to get a position in Bitcoin, as that was way before that parabolic rise of the previous cycle when we hit the all-time high of 69,000 back in November of 2021. Bitcoin president will be my vote, but I also need to look at their individual political stances. If I found one that was less government, I would have to throw out the Bitcoin stance. And I understand that. The perfect president is Bukele. Less and less government proponent for their country. So shout out to the people of El Salvador. But at the same time, Bitcoin's a legal tender. Sign me up. We may all end up moving to El Salvador. We shall see. I will not be making my decision until the major parties select their candidate. Word up. Hardest asset in history. You already know, Toronto. Backed by mathematical proof. Facts. It is what it is. It's not just the president. We need to vote the right way. All three branches of government need to be set right. Flush the trash out of the Congress. Facts. I'm with you there. You know what I mean? Another 18 months for six figures. You think so? I think we can hit it sooner than anticipated. I think we can hit six figures next year in 2024. I think it's a good target. If it doesn't get hit in 2024, let's hypothetically say we break the all-time high and get to 80,000. Well, then it's a given by 2025. I am very bullish of the fact Bitcoin will be in the six-figure range by the year 2025. I'm anticipating the cycle high peak of that year, considering it's the year preceding the halving. History shows when the Bitcoin market hits that all-time high. Legislative, executive, and judicial all need to be voted to be for the people and not for the puppets. Facts. 100,000 for the Christmas party in Puerto Rico. Send it. You already know. Appreciate the super chat contribution coming from Michael Volkman. Says convert trash to BTC. Loud and clear. Over and out. 65,000 by September 2024. Says Toronto. Word up. Big ups JV. Says Dad. Word up. All-time high occurring. I hope so. I'd love to see it. Helen in the building. What's good, Helen? It's been a minute. Appreciate you tuning in live as always. Now for a recap, what I cover with you here in today's live show. I broke down the latest technical analysis as well as breaking news. Lightning Labs unveils their toolkit to enable AI to transact in Bitcoin. We also discussed a $125,000 Bitcoin price prediction by 2024, as well as U.S. presidential candidate Kennedy Jr. disclosing $250,000 in Bitcoin holdings, whether it's his or his wife, who really cares? Also in today's show, we discuss one hot tech sector, which is artificial intelligence, can send the Bitcoin price parabolic up 2,410%, hitting a target of $760,000 per Bitcoin, as per the BitMEX co-founder, Arthur Hayes. And we also broke down billionaire Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, his prediction that the Bitcoin price will likely increase 100x to a price point of $4 million per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Peace.